our Hall of Fame analyst, Hall of Fame good guys. Rich Sutter, 13-year NHL veteran, joins us now from sunny, I hope, Southern Alberta. Columbus Blue Jackets pro scout, Rogers Sportsnet analyst. How you doing, Richie? Good day.
I'm very good. Very good. Thank you. How are you guys?
Good. You're looking good, my friend. Hey, so you had some thoughts on Lanny's interview and his mustache. Yeah, go. Is there anybody else in that club that you think that even challenges him and Dave Babbage?
Well, I laugh because as soon as you started talking about it, I said, well, Eddie Shack's got to be in there. And then I know Dennis Marooks was crazy. He had a real good one. So, yeah, there was always some guys, especially come playoff time, right, that guys let things go a little bit. But Lanny had his all the time, so that's what made his special.
Sure. Well, now that you say that, Brent Burns, Joe Thornton, guys like that, O'Reilly, for sure. Hey, Rich, we're still waiting. We're sitting here today. I'm waiting for a notification to come down on my phone on the Hub Cities announcement. But you were kind of hoping that your Columbus Blue Jackets, that Columbus would be the host city. How did you feel that when they were denied? What was your thoughts on that? Were you surprised?
Well, I don't think anything surprises you anymore, Rod, to tell you the truth, the way this thing has played out. I think disappointed was the biggest feeling amongst the group. We felt that we were more than adequate with a number of rinks, including the Ohio State building available for practices. The practice facility inside our own building, much like Edmonton's. I think what it come down to, honestly, is we were the first state to close. We were the first state to open up. And yeah, there's been spikes in our state right now with the COVID, but it's still been pretty good. But I think what it's come down to is, look, our neighbors to the south have simply been very disrespectful of trying to squash this thing, at least put a cap on it and control it. And there's just been too many states that have allowed too many things too early. And I think the disrespect factor for human mankind and the well-being of everybody, I don't get it. Like we've talked before, Rod, you just wish that the person who's the leader of your country just wants to say something positive about, look, shut things down. Enough is enough. We got to get control of this thing. Until he decides to come forward with anything positive like that, I think there's going to be trouble. It's sad. It's disappointing. It's hurtful to everybody. It's going to cost people jobs. It's going to cost a delay of a lot of things getting back to any type of normalcy anywhere, not just the United States, but I think it's going to affect our country as well to some degree. And I'm just so grateful that we are where we are at today, and our country has done what it's had to do to take care of things.
That was a wonderful way to celebrate Canada Day and think about all those things, why we are so grateful to live here, Richie. But let me ask you this. If it is Toronto and Edmonton, this is what I'm hearing from the hockey community, that it's as much about saving the 30% on the dollar. How much does that have to do with the fact that we don't want to be in America? The cases are low in Canada. That's why we're coming to Canada. Are those maybe both factors? Why do you think they're the leading cities and are expected to be named the hub cities?
I don't think anyone's going to want to admit to that comment, Rod, but I think it's true to a very strong degree. Toronto probably by default, to tell you the truth. I'm not going to get in a he said, she said fight with anyone who wants to argue that point, but I think it's obviously true between that and Sportsnet being right in Toronto. They should have just named Edmonton weeks ago and gotten that out of the way. It would allow them to be a little bit more prepared than they probably already are. I'm not saying that they're not, but it would help them really push forward and finish the final touches of preparing for this. But I think the biggest thing is a little bit, the talk all along was right from day one was that the Eastern teams would play West, the Western teams would play East. I'm a little bit surprised that if what it is, how they're saying it's going to come out, that the West will stay West. We're trying to take away the advantage for everybody to make it a little bit on the same playing field. So I think it has its advantages. There's no doubt that, and I'm not saying because Columbus is playing Toronto in the opening round and whoever, Edmonton gets Chicago. I just think there's an advantage of playing in your home building, of being on home turf. And either way, it is what it is. The biggest thing is everyone's got to decide how bad they want to play. I laughed. I was listening to Bob Stauffer and others now a few days ago, and he had Eric Inglis from Montreal on there, and he talked about the question was given to him about players being asked, are they aware of what's going on, where things are at, and he'd asked players that, and players had said that they wish they were a little bit more informed, that they would know a little bit more what's going on. Well, I laughed at that because Eric's probably right, but at the end of the day, this return to play committee goes back to the player reps who are not there. Every player has every opportunity to either A, look at their email, B, sit in on a conference call and listen to what's going on, the information that's being given. And if you don't know, you should be asking. So shame on you if you don't know what's going on and you're not sure about where things are at. If you have questions, they should have been asked on a daily basis to the people that represent you.
Hey, Richie, last question. We have a minute. If you can, in that time, your thoughts on the draft lottery and how it played out.
Crazy. Every year, there's always a chance. The chances were always slim. Sooner or later, you think in your thought that it's going to play out that way. Another crazy scenario to another crazy 2020 coming out like this. And it's going to make it very interesting because there's going to be some very good teams that are going to lose out here right away, and they're going to fall into that draft lottery. And I think that's the only downside that you could look forward to if you were to lose in the elimination round, is that, hey, we got a chance to get a very good hockey player coming right out of the chute here. So it's crazy, but you knew it would happen at some point, Rob. But like I said, to have it happen this year just adds to the craziness of 2020.
No kidding. Lightning struck Friday night. A fluke, really, with the way the balls fell. Richie, thanks for this. Your appearance for Great Western, of course. I hope they're treating you well. I know they are with Original 16. Thanks for all you do. Stay safe, and we'll chat soon.
You bet. Take care, you guys.
All right, 13-year NHL veteran Rich Sutter joining us from Lethbridge, Alberta. Viewer Chad Stallard writes in, he says, Sutter is awesome. That was the most truthful, non-BS interview. Awesome. Well, you said the key word in there. Sutter. They are straight shooters.
You're watching Rod Peterson On Demand. For more of The Rod Peterson Show, visit rodpeterson.com or follow Rod Peterson on social media.